Have you ever gotten home after work and suddenly realized that you cannot remember how you got home? You know, you drove or took a bus, but there are no details of the trip whatsoever. You find yourself thinking if it actually happened or if maybe you were abducted by aliens. Isn't it sad that we go through life pretty much on autopilot? How many cool things do we miss out on a daily basis because we aren't paying attention to what's going on around us? How many parties or events have you been to only to hear the next morning that something cool happened to Billy at the party that you missed for some reason? Were you in the toilet, looking at art, looking at that person you secretly admire? Or were you just daydreaming? For most of you, life would look something like this. You wake up, have some food, maybe go for a walk or a run, and go to work. After work, you get home, usually pretty drained, and veg out in front of the TV watching Netflix or something until you feel like you want to eat. At which point, you either put something in the microwave or order something to be delivered. This is what happens pretty much every day, day in and day out. No wonder you go into autopilot when you drive the same strip of road you have done every day for the last 10 years. This is what life feels like for most people. Life, for most of you, would be considered to be pretty normal. You have your routine you roughly stick to with some slight variation. You have one or two things you enjoy doing over weekends, and life usually isn't very exciting or really inspiring. It's just normal. But why is there something wrong with that? I think part of it, at least, is because of the things you see in films and social media. You see these people going on lavish holidays, driving insane cars, and hanging on the arms of gorgeous girls or handsome men, and get sad or frustrated or even disappointed in your own lives because your life doesn't look like that. But that isn't their lives either. It's a highlight reel. These people you follow on Instabook and SnapTalk aren't real. I mean, they obviously are, but by and large, the lives you perceive them to have aren't. That's not me saying none of what you see is real. I'm saying that you look at a collective of multitudes of people with each a cool 10-second highlight reel and consider it all to be happening to one person. You don't realize that your subconscious is not differentiating between the different people. Another part of the problem is that we also start viewing our own lives as these highlight reels, and on the days or weeks where nothing of note or excitement happens, we view our lives as being boring or below average. But that is so unfounded and rooted in bad information. Information we in part feed ourselves through movies and social media, and in part make up to fill the gaps between these posts and highlight reels. No one's lives actually look like this all the time. No film star, model, or billionaire goes through life living highlight reel after highlight reel without big, boring voids in between. Sure, some of them are probably doing cool stuff a bit more than you are, but these people are still people. Just like everyone else, they still have to work. They also get annoyed, get tired, sleep, and take dumps, just like you do. They all live the same day-to-day life you do. Sure, while you're driving to work in a beaten-up Toyota that you inherited from your great-grandfather, Elon Musk probably floats down a secret underground tunnel, and while you get excited when you get to have a McDonald's meal, Oprah Winfrey probably has a McDonald's in her house. And while you go on vacation in that beat-up Toyota, The Rock probably just takes his private jet. But living, if you think about it rationally, is pretty much only a 16-ish hour window every day, assuming you get 8 hours of sleep. So for 8 hours every day, we merely exist. That is what life is, 16 hours at a time, every day. This can be viewed as both depressing and exciting. It's probably very depressing if you do not like what your 16 hours of living looks like. You might hate your job, you might be spending some of that time with people you don't actually want to be spending it with, and you could even be in certain financial situations that you don't want to be in. So every single day you end up doing things you don't like doing, which is why we get lost in social media, dreaming and fantasizing about what we want or what we are missing out on. And because it's easier to dream our lives away than to change things, this ends up being a vicious circle, which we never seem to get out of. This is obviously super depressing, but getting out of this vicious circle isn't as difficult as you might think. Because if you view your life as only small 16-hour blocks, it becomes more manageable than thinking you have to change something or have to go through something for a long time. It's easier then to build new habits or progressively remove things from your life that could be poisoning it. Like people you feel forced to spend time with because you've just been in the same circles for years. It's way easier to start surrounding yourself with people, build habits, and make choices in general that will start to form you into the person you actually want to be. Because a good life is not 80 years of perfection. It's just a series of good days, and a good person is not someone that has never done anything wrong. It's just someone that lives in a good way for a series of days. These good days aren't days where nothing went wrong or everything we did was a success or even where we got a lot done. It's more often days where something small was better than the day it was before. Maybe you decided to cook an actual meal that you enjoyed and was a bit healthier than the McDonald's you usually pick up on the way from work. Maybe you made someone smile that might have needed it more than you. Or maybe you just made choices that aligned with your values and the person you want to be. Viewing life on this day-to-day scale makes everything we do or attempt a lot easier and acceptable. If you think about being fitter and stronger, you don't have to think about it as this 6-month-long journey with diet restrictions, early mornings, and green disgusting smoothies day in and day out. It only has to be a decision you make today. If you want to read a book, or you want to learn to cook, or you want to talk to that girl, all you have to do is pick up the book and read it today. Go into the kitchen and cook today. Or pick up the phone and call today. Because life is just that. Today. There's no more to it because all you have is today. I hope this short video helps someone out there to maybe gain a better, more manageable perspective on life. If it does help you, please let me know by liking the video, or if you're feeling really adventurous today, tell me about it in the comments. If you are new here, or even if you have seen my shiny bald head before but haven't subscribed yet, please do. Also, make sure you hit the bell so that you can get notifications and not miss out on future videos. Just making sure I help you all with your FOMO. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. Watching the entire video, liking and commenting really helps out with the YouTube algorithm, making sure my bald head appears on many more home pages that can hopefully help more people. Thanks again for watching and have a great today.